I know I was not the only person last week whose newsfeed was flooded by boomers claiming that fall festivals are ruining kids, or screens are ruining kids, or parents these days are failing because they had no trick-or-treaters come to their house. They stocked up on all this candy and they were so excited to like meet and interact with kids and give them candy, and yet none showed up. And so they are convinced that this is like a cataclysmic event and that all of these kids are just being like starved of Halloween. But like, it is a cataclysmic event. They just misdiagnosed it. No kids came to your door because they can't afford to live in your neighborhood. The boomers are hogging all of the family homes right now, and the families are being pushed into like condos and apartments and whatever they can find. This isn't a parenting crisis. This isn't even like a birth rate crisis. This is a families can't afford homes crisis. And look, I'm not even necessarily mad at the boomers. I mean, I am perpetually mad at the boomers. I think they ruined this country. But when it comes to this issue, I'm not asking you to do things that don't make sense. I understand why you don't want to sell your house and downsize when you're going to end up ultimately paying more for a smaller home that's not as nice. That nobody would do that. I understand. That's just common sense. But what boomers should be doing is working to ensure more homes can be built, that more family homes and neighborhoods can be created. And the reason I like put this squarely on their shoulders is, number one, they're still the primary generation that's in power and has the ability to pass laws and make it easier to build. And number two, even when they're not personally in power and elected, they still have the most power as a voting bloc because they are the most likely to vote. They are the most likely to donate. So politicians care about what they say. And I never see boomers banging down the doors of their state legislatures or their city councils, insisting that something give so that more young families can access home ownership. I never see that happening. And in fact, I see the opposite, where they are the most likely to be the NIMBYs, the Karens, the people lining up to protest when we try to reform zoning or when we try to make it easier to have mixed use complexes being built. So I'm not asking boomers to give up their homes. I am asking them to care about what happens to their kids and grandkids and to use their political power to try to push the politicians in this country to get rid of the complete web of regulations we have in place that are preventing more homes from being built, and particularly more affordable homes from being built. Now, currently, there's a legislative package coming down the pipeline in Michigan that I think could not only pass there, but could be used as a model in other states. And I think people need to be paying close attention to this. And if you as a boomer want to have kids showing up in your neighborhood next year to trick or treat, then get your butt to your local government offices and work to see these kinds of policies implemented. Because I also want to see streets look like this in the fall. I think we all do.